Guardians, welcome to Astanila Makia with a presentation of classes from English literature. This is Ibrahim Khokhar. This time I will try to explain a sonnet known as Sonnet composed upon Westminster Bridge, written by William Wordsworth. Before talking about the sonnet, let me explain that sonnet is genre of English poetry. This genre is very much popular in English poetry. Sonnet is basically a poem of 14 lines. Sonnet is basically a Latin word. It means a song, but in English literature, this little song or this type of poetry is strictly composed of 14 lines. We must remember that sonnet is always a poem of 14 lines. In English literature, we have found the tradition of sonnet writing by a number of great writers. For example, we have famous sonnets of Shakespeare. Shakespeare wrote all about 154 sonnets. Then after Shakespeare, we have Milton, a great sonneteer, and then Wordsworth, the father of romantic poetry. We find Wordsworth writing sonnets, and this sonnet that I am trying to explain here, sonnet composed upon Westminster Bridge, is written by William Wordsworth. Now, William Wordsworth is a romantic poet. In his poetry, we find love for the scenic beauty. Wordsworth was highly inspired by nature. For Wordsworth, it is said that he was a student of nature. He himself wrote that nature is my teacher and I am its preacher. I will be reciting the sonnet by Wordsworth and then I will try to explain it. In sonnet composed upon Westminster Bridge, this sonnet was written by Shakespeare on 31st July 1802 and was published in 1807. Wordsworth says, "Earth has not anything to show more fair. Earth has not anything to show more fair. Dull would he be of soul who could pass by. A sight so touching in its majesty, this city now doth like a garment wear. The beauty of the morning, silent, bare, ships, towers, domes, theatres, and temples lie open unto the fields and to the sky. All bright and glittering in the smokeless air, never did sun more beautifully steep in his first splendor valley, rock, or hill. Never saw I, never felt a calm so deep. The river glideth at his own sweet will. Dear God, dear God, the very houses seem asleep, and all that mighty heart is lying still. Now, these 14 lines are composed in a very systematic rhyming pattern. If we see, Wordsworth here has used 4 rhyming patterns. For example, the first line ends with fair, the second with by, and third with majesty, that is the broken rhyming of by. So line 1 is fair, means it stands for A, by stands for B, majesty again stands for B, and then the fourth line ends with where, means again the rhyming scheme of A is used. So the rhyming scheme of this sonnet is A, B, B, A, lie means again B, sky, B, air, A again, and then Wordsworth moves to the third rhyming scheme, that is steep. So it is C, then hill, fourth rhyming scheme. Steep hill, steep C, hill D, then again C, deep, and again will means C, and asleep C, and still D. So 4 rhyming schemes are used here. In this beautiful setting, Wordsworth conveys a very beautiful message. As I told you that Wordsworth is poet of nature, so this sonnet is replete with the theme of nature. Wordsworth says, "Earth has not anything to show more fair, dull would he be of soul who could pass by." Wordsworth actually had gone for morning walk that day, early in the morning, and he was mesmerized by the beauty of calm London. It was early hour of morning of July, and let me tell you that July is the month of summer in England, and summer is always pleasant in England. For people of Pakistan, a day in summer could be a very harsh and very rough. because we have scorching sun and we have a hot weather here. But for England, for people living in England, July is always a pleasant weather. So when Wordsworth set out for morning walk on uh, 31st of July in London city, he was mesmerized by the calm beauty of London. And he expresses, and Wordsworth himself told that poetry is a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. So the powerful feelings of Wordsworth arose there, and he was forced to compose that earth has not anything to show more fair, means world has no more beautiful scene to offer other than this morning of London. And in the very second line, Wordsworth says, dull would he be of soul who could pass by. That anyone who ignores this beauty, anyone who is not being impressed by this beautiful scene, Wordsworth declares him dull of soul. Means those who are not mesmerized, those who are not attracted by the beauty of nature, they are dull of soul. A very beautiful, comparison is made by Wordsworth, that those who are not being attracted by beauty, they are dull in soul. And he says, a sight so touching in its majesty, the city now doth like a garment wear. Now, Wordsworth tells us as if the city has worn the garment of beauty. The city that is not otherwise that much beautiful or attractive, because in the hustle bustle of life, when the people will wake up, when there will be hustle and bustle, when there will be noise, when there will be different people walking around, whistles of vehicles, number of things, okay, so it might not be that much beautiful, but in this particular hour of day it has worn a beautiful garment. Garment of what? Garment of the beauty of the morning, silent bare. The garment of morning beauty that is silent and that is bare. Ships, towers, domes, theatres, and temples lie open unto the fields and to the sky. There is no cover, there is no shield, everything is open and everything offers its splendor, everything offers its beauty. All bright and glittering in the smokeless air. Is it is the early hour of morning, so there is no smoke, there is no dust, there is no any pollution. The city is free of pollution because it is early morning, it is early hour of morning, so it is smokeless. Never did sun more beautifully steep in his first splendor valley, rock or hill. Wordsworth says that the rising of sun might not offer such beautiful scene somewhere else as it rises above the beautiful London city that is calm in this early hour of morning. Never saw I, never felt a calm so deep. Wordsworth says that in my entire life I haven't seen such a beautiful, scenic beauty. The river glides at his own sweet will. We know that in the middle of London flows Thames River, and this river offers beautiful sight in this early morning. And then Wordsworth prays to God, dear God. This is apostrophe. Wordsworth now speaks to God. Dear God, the very house is seen asleep, and all that mighty heart is lying still. That everyone is peaceful, everyone is enjoying sleep. And this city has not worn the pollution of man. This city has not been corrupted by the noise of man, by the noise of industries, by the noise of vehicles, by the noise of different types. So it is very beautiful and scenic, attraction lies in this site. So Wordsworth was compelled to compose, and Wordsworth was standing at Westminster Bridge at that time, and there he had composed this beautiful sonnet. So to conclude, Wordsworth once again glorifies the beauty of nature. Wordsworth once again tells us that how beautiful London is and how beautiful are the scenes of London in early morning. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I suggest you to subscribe my channel and continue watching more videos on English literature. Thank you.